Hi guys. So what I really love about Grease Pencil is that it allows you to use so many different types of workflow. I mean, you can obviously go frame by frame, or you can use a rig, or you can move the whole objects and use physics, whatever. What I want to show you today is how I approach this little animation in here. So it's not very complicated. So I decided there is no reason to go to create a rig or anything. I wanted to just draw a character and then almost instantly start animating it. Anyway, like this, it has a lot of texture on it, right? And there is this striped t-shirt, so it would be quite tedious thing to do, like to go completely frame by frame, and probably it would create some chaotic results. So instead I started like a little bit different type of workflow in here. So what I did at the very beginning, after designing this character, I actually separated all her limbs, body, head, face, neck, and hair into separate layers. Yeah, and then I kind of draw like a pose, which would be a final pose of the movement and of the animation, and then like one kind of like which would be kind of a breakdown pose. So what I did in here, I start to move the particular layers around and use the sculpting and interpolating technique. And I will show you in a moment what I mean. I mean, let's try to go from here, like to, for example, here. Is it even possible? Okay, so obviously, like, where's the start? I decided that I want to start in here with her face. So I've got her face here in this kind of a neutral position. So let's unlock the layer and let's put it in here, right? Okay, so I selected the whole layer and then I just try to move it a little bit. And the cool thing about Grease Pencil is that, like, it's not really complicated to manipulate the strokes. I mean, in edit mode with a lasso tool or whatever you fancy, like, it's quite easy to manipulate the strokes and put them into position that you really like. And besides that, of course, you've got the wonderful sculpting tools, which can kind of enhance things and to make them look better. Okay, so let's say we are okay here, and let's move on with other parts. And what is very important in here is that when you are resculpting the particular parts of her body, you need to use exactly the same sets of vertices. So that's why I'm copying like the particular body parts and then resculpt them. If you redraw them, then you wouldn't be able to interpolate them later on, right? Okay, so the first problem occurs in here. I mean, this is her right arm, right? And from the point of view of camera, I would like this arm to be beneath the body, right? So, and it is on top because it was designed like this, and it worked in this position pretty well. But right now, I would prefer it to be like beneath the body, and that's why I've chosen like to use the different stroke depth order method. Like usually by default is it's set to 2D layers, And yeah, I mean, like with this setting, it means that it works more or less like in any other 2D software, like I don't know, like in Photoshop, where the stack order, the layer stack order determines which layer is on top and which layer is at the bottom. Instead, I have changed the stroke depth order into 3D location. So it means that I actually use the power of the Blender being a 3D software, and I can actually move around like the layers without I mean, I can move them in 3D space without caring too much about what's the stack order. So let's, for example, let's choose all the vertices from the arm, and let's push them a little bit behind the body. Let's see the result. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, I can start to create a pose for the character, right? We got the same thing here. I mean, obviously, like her left arm is beneath the body, and it's on the top of the legs, and I want it to be like on top of everything in this particular case. So basically, I can do exactly the same thing which I did here, but there is like one more way to operate the strokes. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but every layer has its own set of transforms, and I could easily just like select all the all the strokes and push it a little bit forward. But it means that if I would like to redraw this, like some completely new artwork on this particular layer, it would be probably placed in the on the drawing plane, which is in the center of the of our scene. And I want it like to stay. If for example, for some reason I would like to redraw this arm, I want to be able to draw on top of everything. So what I will do, I will just push this layer a little bit forward. But before I do that, I will just, because I'm pretty happy with this, right? Like I don't want to be like I don't want to be in front in this case. So I'll just keyframe the Y position of the layer and go like to the next position, and then I will push it a little bit forward in here. Let's look if anything happened actually. Yeah, it works pretty well. So, but I don't want actually to move in here. Like the layer is basically animating. It's going from here to here. So what I want to do is like I want to set the interpolation mode to constant, and at least for now, like so. Right now I've got like the left arm is beneath everything, and right now the left arm is on top of everything, and that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. And as you can see, I'm using a lot of strokes in here, right? So maybe not a lot, but sometimes when you're resculpting things, that then there are some gaps appearing, like here, and I basically can't draw additional strokes in here, because then the whole thing with the interpolating those two frames wouldn't be possible. So what to do? Like usually I go to sculpt mode, use the thickness tool, and just make the lines a little bit thicker. And yeah, I mean, it's sometimes like question of I don't know, artistic choices, if it suits you or not. For me, it's completely fine. Actually, there's exactly the same thing happening with her head, so I'll fix it right now. Okay, so we got the character posed in the extreme pose, right? So I mean in the keyframe pose. So yeah, let's try to actually interpolate it. To do so, I will unlock all the layer which need to be interpolated. So I won't unlock pose and I won't unlock sketch, and go to edit and the interpolation tool. And let's go to around 50. I don't know if you can see it. It's like it's in the like the percentage of the interpolation is in the top left corner of the screen. There you can see like the I'm exactly at 50%, and it looks like doesn't look very good, right? So let's just fix this pose. I probably want to change, because when you interpolating stuff like with the interpolation tool, it produces like those keyframes which are called breakdowns. So I like to convert them to keyframes because they've got some special abilities like the breakdowns. So they are, when you, for example, like to interpolate with the keyframe set to breakdown, and you would start to interpolate in here, then Blender would take those two sets of keyframes as and kind of didn't care about this one. So if you want to interpolate between those two sets of keyframes, you should probably change it to keyframe. And yeah, the shortcut for this is like you need to be in dope sheet and then hit R, and then you can set the keyframe type. Probably it's somewhere here as well, but I really don't remember, sorry. And obviously the arm, like the left arm, disappeared already, because it's set to constant, and I probably want it to be on top already, so I'll just take the right arm and put the keyframe more or less in here. And I probably should at this point I should redraw like the pose, like to get some kind of reference, and maybe that's exactly what I'll do. Let's draw something which should probably look quite sensible. So let's go to, we need some onion skins for that, and I don't need onion skins for anything besides the pose layer. And probably I would like to go to fade inactive layers option, so I can focus on my pose. So maybe she should like bend her head a little bit down, and probably with her arms doing something like this maybe. I don't know, we'll see in a moment. Oh, and by the way, if you're in sculpting mode and you want to work only on a particular parts of the layer, you can separate it even further by choosing like the selection mask option. And right now, like you can work, for example, just on these strokes without distorting the rest of them. Actually, I can try to use those like existing strokes to squint her eyes totally, like to close her eyes. Let's see if it's possible. Okay, so we got those three poses, and from here the things will start to speed up a little bit, because well, it wasn't an easy process, right? But if I would like to, if I decide that this movement should be very slow, it means if I will go frame by frame, it's really it will take a lot of effort. I mean, a lot of drawings, and yeah, you have to be very precise. If I would like to rig it, well, maybe I would lose some of it character, like, and maybe I don't want to waste my time for rigging it. And rigging the grease pencil doesn't always work well with more realistic characters. I mean, when you want to create bunch of forest weirdos, it's quite okay. But with when you want to some more control on the details, probably it's not the best way to do it. Probably the best way to do it would be just like to create a 3D character and stylize it to look like 3D, which is not an easy thing for as well. So yeah, right now we've got these three poses. Let's see how they will work if we would scale the animation time up, like, I don't know, like by 2. Let's turn off the pose mode, the pose layer. Yeah, it looks much better. And I would like to put some in-betweens in here, like first one like really close to the beginning, so around, I don't know, around 12% maybe a little bit more. Yeah, same thing here, like we are almost there, like 88%, maybe not 88, let's do it like 85. Okay, I think I really want the movement to be even slower, so I'll just change it to keyframes and scale it 2 times again. Yeah, that's actually quite okay. There is like some hole appearing in here, so I'll just fix it right now by sculpting it with thickness brush. Everything else looks more or less decent. I mean, it's always a question if you are happy with particular frame of animation or not, but if you'll be like fixing stuff too much, you won't finish your animation ever. So sometimes it's just a question of calling it ready and moving forward. You might ask, what was the reason behind like separating this into layers if the stroke order like is determined by its 3D location? I mean, the main reason for that is that I can really easily separate things, like for resculpting by having it on separate layers. And besides, like I can, it's really handy to be able to transform it as well. So right now I want to work a little bit on this part, like on the hair. So yeah, on this one. So I will lock everything beside this layer, and wrong brush. Let's use a push brush. Yeah, maybe something like this. I think I kind of want her eyebrow to be visible. So actually I can take it and put it a little bit like in here to get her like kind of mean expression. And maybe I would really like to work a little bit more of it on it right now. Yeah, so let's fill the I want the frame rate to be a little bit, I mean I need some more frames in here, so I'll just interpolate it. And obviously there is like some glitch in here. This left arm should stay at the bottom of body, like it should be beneath the body. So I'll just take the location of the left arm layer and push it like here. One more thing, actually. Let's try to like to make it like a loop or something like that, and let's see if it would be like really easy process or it would need some more special attention. Actually, there is one more thing I could do here. I feel like her arms could swing a little bit forward, like and overshoot a little bit in here. So it feels kind of stiff right now. Just a touch of overshooting, not much really. I don't want to be like the early Mickey Mouse type of anticipation and overshooting type of animation. So, but I guess a little bit of it won't hurt. So what I want to do is I want to push the final keyframes of this sequence forward, like, I don't know, 3 frames forward. And here I want to interpolate it, but I want to go a little bit over 100%. So maybe like 113. Yeah, looks cool. Yeah, so just a touch, just a little bit. So and I feel like it could go a little bit slower from here to here, so I'll just move the keyframes like 3 keyframes forward, and then just use interpolation to get like frame in the middle. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like with every animation, you could work it like all day, polishing and everything, but for me it looks pretty decent. And if you ask me if I would, for example, turn on the lights and turn on the rim effect, let's go to check it out. The effects are visible only in rendered view. Yeah, and let's turn on the noise modifier, which like makes some special movement, like making it look a little bit more organic. Yeah, so here it is, like, just as I said, nothing spectacular, just a girl looking around, I mean, maybe explaining something to someone. this type of shoot and of shot. And I don't know, like the starting the process, it's pretty tedious, but the more you go into interpolating it and filling the in betweens, it goes